correct diagonal on a circle. And when you combine these 3 sets of aids, combine the 3 sets of aids, I want you to count out loud, add, 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 as you do it. Yeah, say it with your voice, trot. Yeah, let him back up, let him back up, let him back up, let him back up, turn the corner, let him back up. Don't hit him with the whip. Turn the corner so you don't hit the wall. Backing up, backing up. When he stops, back up another couple steps. Good. And then put your legs on and say, good boy. You see how that works?
Yay.
It's just logic. It's just common sense. Good. So let's hear some connecting aids. Add, add, add hind legs through a closed outside hand. A little bit slower in your tempo. Alexandra, before you start, from your tummy muscles, that a girl. So when you give the connecting aids, they shouldn't go any faster. They should just come rounder. Let me hear some adds. I don't hear anything. And soften. And you feel how he lengthened and lowered his neck, Alexandra? Not that he didn't have it beautiful before, but you could almost feel him lift his back a little more there. Let me hear you, Berry Hill. And soften and allow his neck to fall down. How do you like that, girlie? Now, at the last minute, you pulled that down and back on your left hand, and he came up. Keep your hands forward in the work area. Once again, add, add, add. Press with both calves. No, it's a little too fast. Close your outside hand in a fist. Squeeze and release inner hand with your hands together. Add, 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 soften. That's the aid that teaches the horse to come on the bit. One more time, just so he gets to feel this. Out loud, counting. Good, good, beautiful. Well done, both of you. Now sit, tighten your tummy muscles, and walk. Now let's do that in the walk. Let me hear you. And soften. Well done. Okay, so now Berry Hill, you hold for a second and watch Alexandra because she's been having some challenges with her walk to trot transitions. Alexandra, you're going to give 2 sets of aids at once. We talked about letters of the alphabet. We talked about putting the letters together to form a word. You just said a word. Slow down. Come on the bit. Now you're going to say a sentence. The sentence is, do this transition on the bit. But first we're going to do another set of connecting aids in the walk, which is a word, where you close both legs. We already did this once, but I want to do it again because I've been talking now for a little bit. Just in the walk, give you 3-second connecting aids and count out loud. Add, 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 and soften. Good. Now you feel how it, especially the outside of his neck, gets longer and lower. It's almost like the wind taking a sail out on a sailboat when you do that. This time you're going to do a longer set of connecting aids. They're going to last 5, 6, 7 seconds. And right about on the 3rd or 4th add, you're going to increase your legs to tell him to go beyond your hand into the trot. But don't do that until you've gotten the answer you've just got where you feel him step through your outside hand and take the hand down. So that basically what we're doing is we're bridging the transition with a set of connecting aids. You're giving the connecting aids before, during, and for like 2 strides after. Your legs will stay on, your outer hand will stay closed, your inner hand will be vibrating. But start it in the walk and don't blend in the trot until you get a nice feeling of him stepping through your outside hand, and count it all out loud. Go ahead. Yeah, count. Add, add, increase your legs, add, add, add. Thank you. And soften. You see how the horse was doing all those hoppy steps before? Well, she wasn't saying a whole sentence to him, which is do this transition on the bit. Now you're going to do the same thing into the walk. You're going to start your 3-second, well, it's going to be more than 3 seconds. You're going to start your long set of connecting aids. Somewhere in the middle of it, tighten your stomach muscles to tell him to walk. So add, drive him through your outer hand. When you feel him step through it, keep adding through a closed outer hand. Tighten your tummy muscles, walk, keep connecting, push him through. Push him through, push him through. Good, and soften and tell him good boy. Okay, that was well done. You saw what happened there. He's like, door shut, gonna stop. You gotta step through the closed outside hand. So now once more up and down. Start in the walk. Close your legs, close your right hand in a fist. Twinkle, twinkle, inner hand, counting out loud for me. add, keep the outer hand closed, beautiful. And now you see the difference between these transitions and the one before? When I said, you know, we'll fix this, you see how simple it is to fix this thing? You don't have to make this your life's work, you guys, you know? And now, so connecting aids to the walk. Add, tighten your tummy muscles, add, keep, yeah! And pet him a lot for that long range. Round of applause for that. Now, oh, sorry. But I knew she wouldn't fall off. She's got Velcro in her britches. But do you see how well you trained him there? The first time he thought, wait, I did a down transition, the door is still closed, I have to stop. But you said to him, no, you can step through it. It's an invisible wall. That time, you can continue to go forward through your closed outside hand. So you got a little bonus there thanks to Alexandra. You can all thank her at lunch or buy her lunch or something. Which is, we talked about the connecting aids in the last group, but I didn't get on to the next thing is, well, then what do you do with it? Well, you start to say whole sentences. You start to do what's called giving two sets of aids at once. So you can give the aids for shoulder in, or you can give the aids for a leg yield and go sideways in the leg yield with your horse completely hollow. You can do a transition from walk to trot like you were doing with your horse completely hollow and hopping up and down. Or you can give two sets of aids at once that says, do this leg yield on the bit. Do this transition from walk to trot on the bit. Do this transition from trot to walk on the bit. You would do the same thing, trot to canter, canter to trot. You start with the connecting aids. When you feel him commit himself to the connection on the outside rein, you keep the connecting aids on and blend in the other aid and keep it on for another 2 strides just to be sure, then soften. So you give 2 sets of aids at once. In that case, the connecting aids can last as long as 5, 6, 7 seconds. But the thing is, because you have, even though you're doing stuff with your hands, you still have your driving aids on. It's okay to be using your reins for that long because you're still asking for the power to come from behind. So that was awesome. With these guys, we talked about impulsion meaning more. And whenever you lose the first 3 ingredients of the training scale, drain some impulsion out, put the first 3 ingredients back in, and then you can, by increment, add impulsion back in. We did that with a leg yield in the beginning. We talked about riding and counterflexion to get the axis straightness, so the shoulders are in front of your hips and the horse's hips. We talked about riding in baby shoulder in, which is first position, to ride a straight horse so that you lay the mechanics even for the young horse, these are first level horses, but we're teaching them the baby mechanics of bending the joints of the inside hind leg so that when we ask them to collect, we're going to see some collected horses after lunch. What's collection? It's the horse has to bend the joints of the hind legs so the butt goes down and the front end can come up. So to ask the horse suddenly at second level to collect when they don't even know the baby mechanics of bending the joints of the inside hind leg, like in the canter, you know, he had to do it in the walk and the trot, he had to do it in the canter, it's unfair to the horse and you're going to meet a lot of resistance. But if you do things in ridiculously small, no-fail baby steps like this, to go from riding a horse in first position and beginning to add in real collection is not such a big deal for a horse because they've already felt what it feels like to have that inside hind leg tucked under the heavy point of their body. Okay, so your brains are probably smoking because that was a lot of information for this morning, but guess what? Your subconscious heard it all, and luckily you took notes, so you will have that to refer to. And we have an announcement.